Hi everyone, I'm Shadab Sefi. I'm accessibility developer having 7 years of experience in web accessibility, and I was thinking about making these videos to teach about accessibility testing. So accessibility testing is basically testing for the websites and testing the website and web applications for accessibility. And accessibility is nothing but making content available for the users, no matter what environment they are using, what OS they are using, or what browser they are using. They can use any other ways to access the web, but that website and web page should be accessible to them. So here we have WCAG, which stands for Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. So they are set of rules and guidelines that we have to follow in order to make content accessible. So even when we test for the website, we basically check this can be a checklist for the testing as well. So we check for each and every success criteria that we have for that particular page. So these success criteria and guidelines and the principle are in a hierarchical manner. So let me talk about the principle, which are the topest level in the WCAG. So there are 4 principles there in WCAG, which are perceivable. The first one is perceivable, and second one is operable, third one is understandable, and the fourth one is robust. So we also call them power principle. So perceivable, in the first principle, perceivable, we talk about the user interface components and information that must be presented to the user in way that they are comfortable with, and that information should be perceived by those users. So in operable, we basically talk about the operating and accessing the functions of the website. That can be buttons, links, or any clickable component. So in operable, we basically check for all the user interface component, and they should be uh, accessible and operable and navigable through the keyboard itself or any other manner. So user can operate those components in a way that they want to. And the third one is understandable. And in understandable, basically as we talk about the perceivable, that should be perceived. In understandable, we talk about that the information that they are perceiving should be uh, enough so that they can understand about the operation that they're gonna do. And the last one is robust. It basically talks about the compatibility and robustness of the website, that it can be used in any environment that the user use. So let's suppose I'm using mouse to access this, and I'm using a laptop, and there can be a user who gonna access this website through mobile or any other OS. So this should be uh, robust enough that it can be interpreted in any viewport and in any OS. So these are the 4 principles, and we have guidelines. Around 16 guidelines are there, and guidelines are the second level of the categories, I can say, in WCAG. So they are like text alternative, time based media, and we have adaptable, and we have distinguishable. So these are the categories under these principles. So let's jump to the success criteria. They are the root level of checkpoints, I can say, in the WCAG, that we basically check for the pages. And let's start with the very first success criteria that we have. And even though if you guys have any other if you want anything in details, you can just comment that out, and I'll create further videos to uh, explain even single points, even the principle or the guidelines of the success criteria in more detailed manner. So today I'm just starting, so let's see how it goes. And let's start with the first success criteria that we have. So very first success criteria is non-text content. In this success criteria we basically check for the non-text content that we have in our web page. It can be an image, an icon, and any control or input, the captcha and the formatting and the decoration. So anything that is not actually the text, uh, that 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 component comes under the success criteria to be tested. So we test for that, and it says any non-text content that we have in our website, it should be presented to the user and with a text alternative. So let's suppose we have an image, so that image should have alternative text available for the user. So basically what the use of this alternate text is, let's suppose I'm using braille keyboard or I'm using any screen reader to read the content of the website. So if we have a text alternative for any non-text content, so that would be good for me to access or interpret that information in any other way. So let me give you an example of this. So there is an image here, these are the images here, these are the images. So if I'm a sighted user and I'm seeing these images, they are kind of links to any pages, and we can open pages, but I can say I can little bit understand these things, like these are some kind of products here. But if I'm using a screen reader, how I'm gonna understand these things? So that is why this success criteria 1.1.1 comes into the place. So according to this non-text content success criteria, there should be a alternative text to these images, so that if I'm using screen reader or any of these other assistive technologies, I can perceive these things. So let me open the screen reader and let's start reading the content. So right now I'm using Mac OS, and I'm gonna use VoiceOver screen reader to test this. But if you have different OS, like if you are using Windows, you can use NVDA, and in NVDA to read the content, you just need to open the NVDA and start reading the content by using down arrow key to move down to the page, and if you want to go upward, you can just use up arrow key to read the content. And right now I'm using VoiceOver on Mac, so I'm gonna start it, and we'll start reading using control option and right arrow key to move forward, and control on option back arrow key to move backward. So let's start.
Main toolbar.
So I've started the screen reader, and now I'm gonna start reading the content and see what all information are accessible to me.
Select Default leaving dev tool.
Gefälscht Computech.
You are current tel 703555. Search the site. Go button. List 6 items. Link, visit, link, end of list. Heading level 3. Welcome to Jeff.
So as you can see, I've started using control option and right arrow keys, and this particular image is skipped, and which is okay for now. I'll tell you why it is okay, but let's see how these images are conveyed.
Default jump link, period. List 3 item. Heading level 2. To get missing image descriptions, open the context menu. Unlabelled image.
So you can see it is saying unlabeled image, so which is quite confusing. Like as a screen reader user, I would not be able to understand why these image and what these image do. So this is one of the bug that we have to log for this particular page. This is just a demo website, and I'm just checking it if we can get some kind of issues here. So we found the issue here. These images, especially the one that my focus is on, this image basically have an issue under this success criteria non-text content. because this image doesn't have uh, any text alternative available, so my screen reader is not able to interpret this information and not able to convey to me.
We sell link heading level slash small 60 to 2 JPG.
As you can see, it's saying small 60 to 2 JPG. Again, it is an unlabeled image and I'm not able to understand what this image is all about. So this is one of the issue that we have
Unlabelled image.
under this success
VoiceOver
criteria.
off.
So let me tell you one more example where we have to hide images from the screen readers, because sometimes we have to convey things that is useful for the users, and sometimes we use images or icons just for the decoration purpose, so we have to hide that. So any image that is not conveying any information and we are just using it for the decoration, we should add, especially for the image, we should add a blank alt text there so that it can be skipped by the screen reader. So in this case, these images they might be decorative, but they doesn't have a blank alt available. Let me inspect it. So yeah, you can see this image tag doesn't have any blank alt attribute, and if I inspect this particular image, this must be having a blank alt. See, this is let me zoom it. So this image have a blank alt available. So by doing this, we are allowing screen reader to skip this particular image. But for in this case, for these images, there is no blank alt attribute, so it is still considering the source, the last part of the source, as the alt text. So there is an issue here for these three images. And let come back to the success criteria. So there are some situations available. So it's saying if controls and inputs are there, we don't have to explicitly convey that these are the input fields, but we have to follow some other success criteria that they have mentioned. We'll talk about it later. And the second one is time-based media. Again, there are other situations where there are time-based media like videos or audios available, so we also have specific guidelines available for those, so we don't have to test these two things here in the success criteria 1.1. And again, if these are the part of any kind of test, so we don't have to convey the alternative text again, because for a test, uh, if we expose any alt text for the images, then this would not be a valid test then. And for the sensory, so if this particular image is essential for this, so for this experience, let's suppose it's a paint application, and we have drawn a box over there and we have put it an image over there, so that part is essential, so we don't have to specify that. And again, for the captchas, we have to provide some alternative ways for the captcha, so screen reader users or other assistive technology users can understand and operate those captchas. And we have decoration, formatting, and invisible content available on the page, then we don't have to provide the alt text for them, because the information would be unnecessary for the screen reader users. So these are the six situations where exceptions are made. So in this image, this is the decorative image, and we don't have to explicitly add the alt text here. So this is about the first success criteria. For this, we just have to use down arrow keys to read the content and understand what all informations are conveyed, and if the information is non-text information like image or icon or any other kind of visual thing, then we have to check that that image or an icon is properly conveyed by the screen reader or not. So if it is conveyed properly, then we will not be logging any issues here, and if that image or icon is not conveyed properly, then we have to log an issue for that particular page. So in this case, these 3 images and these 4 images doesn't have all text available, so we have to log the issue here. So let's talk about how quickly we can identify that those images have all text or not, especially for the images. Today I'm talking about the images only. So for the images, we can either use any kind of automated tool. So I have this tool available on the Google web store. So you can just install this extension, and you can go to insights and just click on the image. So you will see all the images available on the page, and if you highlight one, so you see this image have alt as blank. So for blank I have used a single quote so that we can understand that alt is available, but it is blank. If you see the second image, you can clearly see there is no alt attribute presented even in the code, and there is no attribute present. If you see second one, the alt is not present. So we can just directly find out these type of issues through automated tools. This is my extension, and you can utilize that for this success criteria, and you can just highlight one and check if the alt is present or not. So this is for this, and this is for other images. The alt is not present. You can easily log issues. I don't have to read every single image through screen reader. You can just run it, and you can get insights of images button. So today we're not going to talk about the images, so you would be having all the information here. So first image have the blank alt, but other images are not having any kind of alt available. So yeah, this is how we can test for the success criteria. And if you guys like it, just do let me know. If you need more information about any success criteria, that I'm gonna posting videos for in the later content, so do let me know. And yeah, that's it. Just let me know if you like it or not. Thank you.